space for dreaming. When your mind is racing, you can slip away. Do you ever switch off? When you sleep, where do you go? Do you ever relax? Are you ever really alone? My best friend says go to the ocean. Dive right in and sink to the bottom. 'Cause sometimes I've been so stuck in work, nothing's today. Let the sun beat down on our bodies. Once we let the arms and boundaries, 'cause we've been stuck inside of work, nothing's today. Go sit to the ocean floor. I wanna fix myself, but I don't know how. I tell you, I wish I could see you more. It's been such a hard time without you being around.
That is the sound of Volleyball with Not For Today. And Volleyball are tonight's featured artist on the show. And they are one of the hottest, if not the hottest indie band to come out of London right now. And the band pull you into their dreamscape so easily that it's almost hypnotic at times. And it's really music that you need while you reminisce those summer days. Those summer days. Whoa, I was nearly in a daydream there. Get back to reality, Jim. Sorry for that. Well, tonight you're going to get sucked into this even more, and it's get sucked into this psychedelic vortex that the guys have created. And if Not For Today wasn't enough for you, well, later on in the show you're gonna hear more from the guys and check out some more of their tracks. And I caught up with Thom and Rudi a couple of days ago, and they were really nice, and we had a great chat about their music and everything. And they're two great guys, and they told me everything there is to know about Volleyball, and it's going to be fantastic later. And there's so much more to get through as well. We've got brand new music from the likes of Maddie, Jack Dora, we've got new music from Tyler, some new music from Solomon Crook, Sponge Sugar, and Lovey It. Yeah, tonight's show, you're gonna love it. And so yeah, we're gonna play Lovey It right now and get into this brand new music. You're listening to Shuffle House.
I'm in the backseat as long as somebody else drives. I can just drink and get high. There's nothing big on my mind. Living the dream, stole the shirt right off of the rack. My friends say they've got my back. We only cry when we laugh. I'm trying, can't fix this, not supposed to mix this. Feel my chest through my head, baby, can't just pretend. I'm down so they're up and they say it's just chemical. They say it's just chemical. Girl, party, 'cause there's only one in this town. I just hope that she backs down. Let me just be myself. I'm trying, can't fix this, not supposed to mix this. Feel my chest through my head, baby, can't just pretend. I'm down so they're up and they say it's just chemical. They say it's just chemical. But you won't pick up. We're serious, but I'm just a lush. We had it all, didn't seem like much in the parking lot. Maybe it's just chemical. Maybe it's just chemical. Trying, can't fix this, not supposed to mix this. Feel my chest through my head, baby, can't just pretend. I'm down so they're up and they say it's just chemical. They say it. Call with the summer days. They fell in love, felt everything. Now I'm settling for a TV screen and TLC. Maybe it's just chemical. Maybe it's just chemical. Maybe it's just chemical.
Hold me, I ain't never gonna fall. When you touch me, it drives me right up the wall. There's a new club just at the end of the road. If you take me, oh well, I just might explode. So baby, love me baby, love me right. Love me baby, love me tonight. Love me baby, love me right.
whoa, yeah. Too much on my mind, you're the reason. Waste time, you know why? I want you to know I'm coming off of love just before we go blind. Yeah, yeah. How come suddenly got so cold, girl? Yeah. Like we had it all, just went away. You be hit me hard and I won't run. Keep it 100, I ain't here to stay. Whoa, yeah. I try to just let it love, yeah. But I'm just too good to let it go. Just too good to let it go. You're still here for me to hold ya. It's not on me to let it up, girl. If you come to me, we start it over. One time leaning closer. You're still here for me to hold ya. It's not on me to let it up, girl. If you come to me, we start it over. Yeah. Someone that I could trust, yeah. Try to just let it love, yeah. But I'm just too good to let it go. Just too good to let it go. We done, cause we not the same no more. Cause we had it enough, yeah. Think it wasn't enough to restart it all, yeah. You're still here for me to hold ya. It's not on me to let it up, girl. If you come to me, we start it over. One time leaning closer. You're still here for me to hold ya. It's not on me to let it up, girl. If you come to me, we start it over.
That's Maddie with his latest track, Start Over, and that's so fresh because that's just out today, so it is. And, you know, it's Maddie's 5th single, and it's the follow-up to the previously released Think of Me, and it's really in keeping with the music of what the artist is doing. It's so good. Each track gets better and better and better, and this really is the perfect summer hit. And, you know, even in your dreams, you will have that on repeat. It will be the soundtrack to any a summer and any a dream as well. And before that, you heard Jack Dora with Mine Forever. And Jack is really back right now. And it has those 80s vibes in it, and it's dance pop and it's hypnotic drums, it's glistening synths with sloppy bass and even slick guitar riffs for you. And the track is about obsession and controlling toxic relationships. And you know, I'm pretty sure you've all been getting lost in the music there of his track with the positive vibes, like, haven't you? Well, that's exactly what Jack said about being in a toxic relationship, in that its positive soundscape really does lure you in and really turns you inside out. You know, reminiscent of that kind of relationship. And you know, he's deviating away from his more punky sound, and you know, it's his first single from his up and coming EP, and it's set for release in early 2022. Well, Jack Dora is going to get played more here on Shuffle House between now and then, that's for sure. Kicking off this 3 set was Loviet with Chemical, and she really is treating us really nicely with this one, and it's from her upcoming new album also, and it's a shimmering breezy single, isn't it? It really does pull at your heartstrings, like, and you know, it does have those relatable lyrics and those unforgettable melodies. Oh yes. And you know, Loviet's subtle vocals will mesmerize you, and you know, the track is really something I like. It's kind of like it resonates with you like an Alanis Morissette track, and it really has those 90s vibes to it. And yeah, I really love it. Yes, I do. See what I did there? Well, the show just always goes so quick. I can never keep up sometimes, and this is such a treat to have volleyball on the show. Rudi and Thom were so great to have, and they really, really were. Just great guys to talk to, great chat. And this is we're going to go now into the Q&A with volleyball, and they give us a little background to them in part 1 here, and you're going to get a nice little dose of their music as well throughout this Q&A feature. So sit back and enjoy and listen to what volleyball have to say.
We basically went out to Norfolk with Hugh's girlfriends and stayed in this massive kind of country house and just had loads of freedom to do what we wanted. And we didn't really have any pressure on, so we were just able to write. And we didn't really spend that long doing it doesn't feel like. We're doing loads of activities, we're swimming, we're mucking about in canoes and stuff. We ended up writing like 12 or 14 songs or so.
Amazing. So
which is great.
So that's like another body of work for that you can leave curing for a future date. That's incredible.
Yeah, we're kind of adding to we've got a good bank of songs going on now. I reckon we've got how many did we even do on that trip, Thom? Say we did 10 there, we might have done something like that. We've got another 12 like half finished, like literally drums tracked, guitars tracked, bass tracked. So those 12, like we're looking at releasing probably next year, well hopefully next year, not the year after.
Yeah.
And then we've got another absolute load behind that, so I guess it just gives us more power of choice as well. And I don't know, we kind of think, let's sort the music and then we'll decide what to do with it.
Yeah, you strike me as being really happy about it, and if we can take it all back to the very beginning, and when you were forming the group, surely you would have had to have, it would have been a process of finding your sound and those writing patterns and what's best for volleyball. When did you realize as a group that it's clicked here? You've got your niche in your sound.
When I came and met the guys for the first time, I'd been told it was going to be a band that was a little bit different, and we were kind of going to be more of a slightly more, I don't know, like kind of catchy indie kind of thing, more than I think any psych influences or anything like that. And then I think when we kind of just had this writing session, we just kind of naturally found this sound and gravitated towards this kind of sonic atmosphere that became what it now is today. And those tracks that ended up being our first 6 that we've released now, the debut 6 singles, just kind of came from that first time when we all met each other, and it just just came out that way, really. And
it's quite natural, I'd say.
Yeah, and our artwork ended up kind of matching that as well in a way too. So we just kind of accidentally fell into what we are. I think it was equal parts us making it like that, and then also just us realizing it was like that in a way.
I think on our first writing trip, it was like we actually Thom walked into. I came out my room one time and Thom was literally stood in my house, and I was like, actually Thom said to me, "What are you doing here?" We knew. Oh, sorry, I explained that really badly. So we knew each other from years ago from music college, like however long ago, 10 years ago, whatever, and hadn't seen each other for years. And then all of a sudden I walked out my room and Tom was in my house, and it just so happened he was coming to a party with my then housemates. We didn't realize we were mutual friends.
Wow, incredible.
And I was like, oh, like we should play some music together. And the band I was in at the time, we were like, we were going on a writing trip to a little hut. You should just like come with us for a few days and play some drums. And we ended up writing so many songs that were like, had this sound that's what became Volleyball straight away. Like it's almost like we didn't have to think about it.
Yeah, just, you know, the universe just aligned you in that way that it was always gonna weave in and be natural, seamless. Yeah. It has that feel to it when you're listening to the songs as well, that you know, you can like relax and you know, meditate nearly to the whole dreamscape that's going on in your music. It's incredible. How do you put like one particular track together that way? Like how do you create that sound and the lyrics around it? Well, the question would be, you know, your creative process is built on what?
Where's Tommy? Go on, Tommy boy.
Oh, I was going to leave you for that one.
Oh,
right, okay. I'll say one thing, then you say what you think, because in a way we don't really necessarily talk about this directly, so it's quite interesting to hear what we each say. We just kind of do it. But I reckon whenever I start something, I feel like I search for like a color or a texture in it, and I kind of put that down, and I think if it's a strong or an interesting little kind of corner of it, that just sparks the idea, and it tends to just really start sounding like Volleyball once we've all worked on it together. There's something that just like those choices and the way we work together tends to just make it come out with that continuous sound. That's what I'd say.
Yeah,
interesting.
For me listening, anyways, as a part of the audience, you know, there seems to be a meticulous effort gone into perfecting the track. Like there just seems to be like every little detail is analyzed, and I would like to know, are you perfectionists or?
There's four of us to moan about it, so four of us to pick up on stuff.
I think we all. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say we all get quite involved with the writing process, and we all like have our ideas, and we'll usually like be in a studio, maybe like a few of us at a time, unless we're lucky enough to be able to take some time and go to a writing trip like this one. But we'll usually kind of all be floating around, and then each be in the studio hearing ideas and stuff, and then just jumping into the hot chair, you know, and putting in our own bit, and then thinking, oh yeah, I've got this other weird little twiddly background bit that might come off of here, or it all ends up just getting bounced around a lot, and then kind of solidified up down the line. But we're really lucky to have Hugh in the band, who is a professional mixing and mastering engineer anyway. So he usually has the final say on the mixes and stuff, and is definitely like a big part of how our sound ended up being like refined in that way, I think.
close the doors. We're giving up the currents and rising tides. Shifting sands over hidden lines. We're cynical, stand on the same side. Give it all and turn around. You can't decide for me with lies. I tried so hard to forgive the last time. Let this one pass me by. Let this one
Like, basically, is your music a conversation to the audience or between yourselves as a band?
Oh, I've never thought of that. I think it's always in the back of your mind, like a kind of an ambient echo or something that sits there. You're aware that you're writing for an audience, but I think we try to not write to be like, what would an audience want to hear? Because you can end up making really strange decisions that tend to not. It's more likely that I'd write to be like, Tom will like this, or Hugh might do this with it, or it'd be cool to hear Tom drumming on this bit. It's more likely that we write for each other. I'm not sure I've ever written to be like, let's speak to an imagined audience, but that's quite a cool idea. Maybe we should try it.
Would you describe yourself as a people pleaser, Tom?
Personally,
Oh, yeah.
probably, yeah. Yeah, I think so. I used to DJ a lot, and when I'd be like making a lot of music and thinking about
Well, we've lost you, Tommy boy.
the
Yeah,
audience
Tom,
would
could
want
you-
sense. But
Tom,
that
could
more
you go-
everyone else.
Whoa.
Hello?
You just fast
Tom's also-
forward there. It was really, really bizarre.
Have
But
you got me now?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. So you were talking about you were a DJ.
Yeah, sorry. I was just saying, so I used to DJ and stuff, and like when you're DJing, you always have in account like what the audience are feeling at that time. And you'd like, I guess in a way you'd be thinking of like whether people are wanting to, well, keep dancing or go to a smoking area, or like, you're always thinking of what people are after at that point. I think that probably comes into like the way I make music too, but more in terms of like energy than like hooks and stuff like that. It's more of like the general energy and the general like feel of the music. Like if we were laying out an album, like I like to think a lot about like how that album flows as one like kind of unit. So yeah.
Now, if we talk
Yeah.
about sorry, Tom, or sorry, Rudy. Yeah.
No, I just agree, and that's a good way to think about it. We definitely do that.
Yeah. That's perfect. Slide was the first single that you released back last year. I imagine that you had a lot of time to think about things in 2020, like everybody else has. Now, what was the reason? Before we could talk about COVID-19 all day long, and pandemic and 2020. That's kind of let's not do that. But I suppose that you had like you seem to be like lads who like to have a body of work that's ready to go one after the other. So what was the reason that you put Slide out first then? Why did you launch that track first?
Can you even remember, Tom?
If you can remember.
For me, it was essentially that I think Slide was the one out of those 6, because there's some weird tracks in those 6, but I think Slide was the one that I thought represented those 6 tracks like as a whole quite well. It's got a little bit of everything. It's quite catchy. And yeah, it kind of, I think it lay out what we had on the table in quite a nice way to begin with as an introduction. That's how I found it anyway.
We thought the first one, Slide, and the last one, Aloosh, were the best kind of sum ups of the sound, but some reason it felt right to do Aloosh last, and Slide just fitted in. It was almost like those two were like the placeholders, and then we had to like figure out the order of the others. But also, we chatted about it quite a lot, and we were like, do you know what? We just need to get a song out. We need to stop thinking about it too much. So you can always go the other way and like start thinking too much, and it can really be unhelpful as a band if you start asking what if too much, and so, like at a certain point you just need to fucking pull the trigger.
I think you just need to take a risk. You know, it can be self-sabotaging otherwise, you know. But
exactly
like,
that, yeah.
But like in any of the 6 tracks, I suppose like what is a volleyball theme already is that within the first 30 seconds of a track, you know, you have people hooked already with the intro and just the soundscape, the kind of opening the doors to the track. It's quite a thing. And is that intentional to give the listener a nice little dreamy intro? Because it seems to be it seems to be throughout the tracks. It's a thing that you want to catch the audience's attention early on.
I love the little intro bits. They're like little gardens that you walk into. I don't know. We've been trying to not do intros, but it's hard not to. I don't know. Tom, what do you reckon?
Yeah, like, I guess it just kind of, it's just like a natural thing. I think it's just what feels right for each individual song, really. Like, I don't think it's a conscious choice. I think it's just that's how we end up, well, that's how we have ended up writing with these songs. Because I think a lot of our new stuff doesn't necessarily adhere to that, but then some of it does. So, but I think this new stuff's probably a lot more varied and a little bit bolder.
We're definitely going through an intro phase, though.
God send
Alush. Well, me and Hugh originally had the idea. I think we were writing the guitar line. We had in mind, we wanted to write some music for a surf film for this videographer we were speaking to at the time, and he was saying he lives in like California, and he was going to Mexico to make a surf film, which he was like, oh, if you guys want to send me some music. So we spent a day writing a load of tracks. We were kind of knackered at the end of the day, and it was either like, you know, have a beer, chill out, go home, or write another track. And I think it was like, let's just try this one last thing. And then Alush came out, and that kind of had this immediate kind of magnetism to it. It seemed to just be like, there's something in this one. This is like, it was worth sticking around for. And then lyrically, it was like, Alush was actually my mate's band. That was the name of the band. And he told me it meant from the sky. And I just thought, that's such a massive image. I want to try and use that in a song at some point. And it was just like, at that point, it was like, oh, we should say that thing.
Yeah. And the way you say Alush as well, it's an extremely uplifting song. I must admit, it's incredible.
I think a highlight of it was we did like a ISO vid, like isolation style live video.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Did you do that? Did you do isolation videos for all your tracks?
Yeah, that was a kind of lockdown challenge. We were like, we can't play live. We need to like exercise this demon somehow. But that, me and Tom went out to, what was it called, Tom? Thaden Boys.
The Thaden Bois concentric circle. And
if you go up
that's where the drum part
London,
was.
Sorry, if you leave London on the M11 and you look left, there are these crazy circles.
Oh right.
We were like, yeah, just kind of looking for places to do some of these parts, and we drove kind of past there in the van. We were like, I don't know if we could get up there. Ended up kind of driving up to this gate. The gate was just open, so we thought, we'll only be 20 minutes. Took the van straight up next to it. Ended up, just getting out and filming 2 really quick takes and going again. And I think, it came out quite well in the video in the end. But all of our isolation videos were, because of the pandemic and stuff. But we wanted to get some music videos out, and we had a lot of time on our hands, and we wanted to just get good at doing stuff like that on our own as well, like learn those skills and be able to know that if we ever wanted to fall back on making music videos like that, then we could. And I think it was really fun exercise of doing that. But it's, at the end of the day, it's always more fun to play with your pals in person.
Yeah, definitely. If we talk about like you as a collective, for how long have you been together as a band?
It's been like pretty much 2 years exactly now since I joined, I think, which was the last member that's currently in. So, but I think it was a little bit less time since we kind of coined the Volleyball name and started refining these tracks and getting these ones ready. We were still unsure on a name until about February or March last year, I think, and then we just settled on Volleyball, of course. After
a game of volleyball?
No, we've never played.
Right.
We actually found out about the sport afterwards. It was just a weird coincidence.
So, why volleyball? I mean, I shouldn't ask these questions. There's some questions you shouldn't ask, I guess. But
they're great questions. I think we just had a massive list of names that we wrote down for like ages, and we couldn't settle on any of them. Some of us liked some of them, and I can't even remember what many of them were actually, but there are some really funny ones. And then just one day we were like, right, we've got to select one now, and we just quite liked the word volleyball and the way it felt. I think.
I think volleyball's the only one-word name that was like left. Every word is taken. It's like,
Yeah, well, there are other sports. There is a band called cricket. There's probably
is
a
there
band
cricket?
called... Yeah, I think there is.
There's a band called Tennis who are sick.
Tennis
really
are
good.
great. Yeah, tennis are great. Yeah, but yeah, you've got volleyball now. That's amazing. How do you think a person would feel after hearing your track? Do you think they would be really enthusiastic, or?
I think it depends on the track, because some of them are like very like celebratory and like quite uplifting, like Aleutian Slide, but then some of them are quite nostalgic and a little bit like pensive at points, like Not For Today and Paradisco definitely have those elements to them. So I think it depends on a track to track basis, but I think generally with these 6 that are out now, I think it's quite a like positive journey, and it's quite an escapive journey from like the perils of what are currently going on in the world. I think it's kind of a nice distraction from it a little bit.
I think we're always quite surprised when people tell us, oh, this one reminds me of this or makes me feel like this. You know, we can kind of, there's so many things you have to do when you release music of like, describe how this track makes you feel and stuff like this. And you can write stuff down all day about what it is, but people always surprise you with what they say, I find.
Yeah, they do.
What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on your music and listening to your music.
Yeah, in terms of their make you feel one, because that's quite, I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is a louche. You know, I kind of like to feel good. Like I'm quite a positive person, so I like. I love a louche. I also like. I like the track Escape, as well, because I'm into mindfulness and meditation, and I just like the lyrics in the track Escape, where you're kind of like telling the person to breathe in and breathe out, and you know, I like the sentiment attached to tracks. I like to think of tracks in a deep way, yeah, and I like the flow of it. And you're like in Escape, you're like telling the person to go with the flow and not to worry, and that, you know, the grass is always greener. That's actually one of my favorite tracks, Escape.
That's it, the diamond in the rough.
Yeah. Being in the present moment.
I'm really glad you picked up on that. It's like, I'm glad someone heard that. That's sick.
And would you boys be into mindfulness in any way?
I'm definitely into it. I really like, I'm really into Alan Watts.
Yes.
He's a dude. And I really like all that side of it. I wish I was better at it day to day. So in a way it was like a bit of a nudge to myself, is like to remember, but I think that's just part of it. Like everyone kind of feels like that, you know, unless you're a monk in a temple, like no one does that stuff enough. So especially living in London, and kind of, it's really hard to do that stuff all the time. So it was nice. I like the idea of putting it in the song as a little reminder, but
with Nosedive, lads, it's about a memory, and the track does flow like all your memories can keep flooding back to you when you hear it. But just a fun question, I guess. What's your best memory, Tom?
Ooh, best
maybe
memory.
that's too broad, but like, what's your best memory of volleyball? Like, like your
Best memory of volleyball might have been it might have been our first gig when we played our first proper gig as volleyball. Anyway, we played at the New Cross Inn. I think it's at the end of May, and it was only a limited capacity show because of Corona, and it was seated as well. So loads of my friends in particular came down because it's kind of my area in London. I've got a lot of pals around here. So friends and family and stuff came down, and it was just a really special experience to be able to kind of see everyone together and show people some of our music for the first time, because we'd had these songs come out already, and we'd had, I think, 4 songs out by that point, but we hadn't been able to do a gig because it had all come out during the pandemic. So to actually finally play and realise, we're not actually too bad at these live gigs was quite a refreshing moment, I think.
And you, Rudy?
I knew you were going to ask if I was going to get away with it.
I suppose if you could give me a memory of your, like, I don't know, your first musical memory, I guess.
Oh, first musical memory. I actually remember being really young and having a babysitter come round, and she was called Michelle, and she arrived, and my dad like excitedly hurried everyone into the lounge and put on Michelle by the Beatles and turned it up so loud. And like, I just thought it was such normal behaviour for my dad. He does that kind of stuff all the time. But I just remember her being kind of like quite taken aback and probably a bit embarrassed and something like that. But it was that passion from my parents actually about music. That's always been quite a prevalent thing. So that's yeah.
Okay, guys. So like, Nosedive is about like embellishing memories as well. Who would be the biggest embellisher in the group? Rudy. I don't know if Tom's there now, but
I'm here.
Sorry.
Yeah. In terms of embellishing memories, that would possibly be me. I do like a good story.
Tom starts the story. Tom starts the story, and where you think it's going to end, and you're like, "Wow, that was a good story." It's just started, and it gets going.
So Tom,
and it's all true.
So Tom, when you were saying it was a special night, are you embellishing that or not? Nah, it was a special night, right?
That was a really special night, because we ended up all coming back to mine after, and it was really fun.
Cool. So lads, you didn't really have time to play live. I suppose the pandemic knocked you back playing live gigs, didn't it?
Yeah, it totally did. And it was quite weird, because that's normally a really fundamental part of launching a band. And you might have like launch parties for singles and stuff like that. But yeah, there was none of that. It was all just just putting it out there and crossing your fingers. So yeah, really looking forward to getting some more gigs in, and we've got a few on the horizon now, actually, which we're kind of getting ready for now.
Yeah, and you've got 2 mini albums coming up, right?
Yeah, we were chatting about that yesterday, actually, like how to make, like we're kind of running over different options that we have, but it's looking like it'll be like 2 next year, and then possibly some music before, but yeah, we're really excited about those songs. They seem to sit well as like two little like blobs of work.
Yeah. And what do you plan on doing, or could you tell me what you plan on doing with the mini albums? Are they both off a different narrative, or are the songs going to be specially selected, like as a volume 1, volume 2, and they have a connection to each other, or what's the process here?
We've kind of, I think they've kind of sorted themselves out in a weird way. They're both quite cohesive, like bodies as they are at the moment. I think we're still, kind of crossing the I's and dotting the T's. I said that the wrong way around. But
Crossing the I's and dotting the T's.
No, I like the way you said it, Thomas. Good.
Thank you. But let's just gloss over that. But we're the second one in particular just has this kind of running theme throughout, purely by coincidence. But the songs all kind of really sit in a similar place. They're kind of telling a similar story and have really similar themes in as well. The first one, I think we're still trying to work out what kind of order we'd like to put it out in, I think. But it's got some of our favourite tracks on too. So both of them we're really excited about.
And we're back, and that was the wonderful Rudi and Thom from Volleyball there, with me in for a chat last week, and that was great. It was so nice. It was so chill. Felt like I had known the guys and we spoke before. It was all fun. It was great, and the band are amazing. And there's so much more to come from Volleyball. That's for sure. Well, we're gonna literally nosedive, which was the track you just heard there. We're going to nosedive back into new music again, and this is the wonderful track, the latest from Solomon Crook, and this is Rains.
You stay the night, but you leave early, and I feel so stupid in the morning. Oh, I don't know where this is going. With all of those kisses you steal just for a moment. Why must the rain cease to exist when you call me up? Why must your words hang on me long enough, long enough? Oh, why must life turn to fire? Yeah, we may fight, but this is not worth it. I open up pain from behind closed curtains. Oh, I don't know if this is a warning. The sirens are calling my name, I don't deserve this. Why must the rain cease to exist when you call me up? Why must your words hang on me long enough, long enough? Oh, why must life turn to fire? You burn me red with things that you said. I let you in company in my bed. Late in the night, woke up to your eyes. Said I was fine, but I changed my mind. Why must the rain cease to exist when you call me up? I changed my mind. Why must the words hang on me long enough, long enough? Oh, why hang on me? Must life turn to fire? Said I love the way it rains, falling down on me. You're something I could keep safe. Oh, I love the way it rains. Wash over me, sweet embrace.
I can get enough frenzy Hey guys, it's Millie from the band Thyla. Check out our brand new single Gum. This one's taken from our debut album, which is coming out on the 28th of January 2022.
I've been thinking about growing myself new skin. I've been worrying about nothing. All I want is a little more than I'll ever get. So find me or something to regret. Left alone and never caught, only love growing old. 'Cause I've been so honest, broken mold, and I guess I'm stuck like gum in my head. Believing, confusion, delusion, and nothing in between. 'Cause what's the point in talking when it's all so clear? Left alone and never cold, only love growing old. 'Cause I've been so honest, broken mold, and I guess I'm left alone and never cold, only love growing old. 'Cause I've been so honest, broken mold, and I guess I'm stuck like gum in my head. I'm stuck like gum in my
That is Thyla with Gum, and really they are one of the best artists around at the moment, in my opinion. And the Brighton band have just announced their self-titled debut album as well. This track is so fresh, just released today, and the album is set for release, just like Millie said before hearing the track, January 28th next year. Should be amazing. This is the follow-up to Breathe as well, and it also last year they had their first EP, everything at once, and they're just an epic band. They're just growing and growing, each track just getting better and better, and glorious. Love the band, and there's more to come from them on Shuffle House, that's for sure. Before that you heard Sponge Sugar, and they're a Swedish shoegaze band, and they're favourites of this show. They have appeared on it before, and Cordelia, Ellen and Felix have really come up trumps again with the track Rodan. Or Rodan? I don't know, I guess it's one of those. And this track really does take hold of your ears, and it almost massages you into giving you a message that you need, like when you need it most, and it keeps giving you that message every time you hear the track. It's lovely. It's so good, and we need that message, whatever it is. It's a positive one. It's great. And kicking that off was Solomon Crook, Reigns, and it's a wonderful track from this artist. And his new EP is coming very soon, titled I and You, and it's just raw vulnerability built on a foundation of fragile intensity. And you really should check out the video for this one, as he's wading on water, and all you can hear is him singing, and he's face up, and all you can see is his words at the epicenter, and it's maximum intensity at its finest. And he's out of New Zealand, and he's a great guy. And check out more Solomon Crooks, that's for sure. And we're going to close out the show with the Desert Tracks from the wonderful Volleyball boys, Rudi and Thom. And there's some little gems here. There's some gems, although Caribou Niobe really is too long, so we're just going to go half on that one, but here it is. And I'll see you later, guys. It's been wonderful. Have a nice week, whatever you're doing, wherever you are in the world, and peace, love, and listen to Volleyball. That's what I'll say. Night, bye. Guys, the two of you are on a desert island together, and you have to bring 3 tracks with you. Now you can decide this upon yourselves. So you're sharing these 3 songs, what would they be?
Oh,
I know what I'd bring. I'd bring Like a Ship by Pastor T.L. Barrett. That song's massive.
so you're not thinking about me at all in this decision, Rudi?
Oh no,
Well,
Rudy's,
I guess
Rudy's doing it good here. That's his individual one. Then you
All
have
right,
to
so
come
we
up
get
with
one individual one each, and then we get to share one, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. We've got pretty similar tastes, so I think I'll enjoy it, even if I haven't heard it. I'll probably pick Niobe by Caribou from the Andorra album as my individual one.
Can you give a reason why, and also you, Rudi?
It's just an absolute banger, and that album is really special to me, and I think it's one that that Volleyball probably drew a lot of influence from as well. 'Cause back then, Caribou was really pushing the boundaries of what could be done with modern psychedelic music, and he was producing it all himself, and it was a very bandy record, but it was all made by him, everything played by him in his own studio at home. So it was really cool to hear something new and something that's not cliche coming into the British psych scene at that point in 2007, I think it was.
Yeah. And Rudi?
That Like a Ship song is so weirdly uplifting, but has a nostalgic kind of glow to it as well. It's you can just hear everyone on that recording is just kind of absolutely going for it. And it sounds massive, and it reminds me of a time in my life where it was just a mate showed me that song, and it was just really happy time, and listening to it just is it's a sit back and a release for my brain. I love that song.
Yeah. And now, guys, the one that you're deciding together.
Oh yeah, well, that's an easy one. Let's just both say it at exactly the same time, Rudi. Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Give Me Love by George Harrison.
Oh yeah. Always.
Yeah, Rudi showed me that one, and it's such a good song. I think it reminds me of you a lot, and in a really nice way. It's an amazing tune. So
Good old
I'd be
George.
happy to share that.
Nice for having you on Shuffle House, and it's a pleasure to speak to you guys.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Jim.
Thank
You're a
you so
legend.
much for having you, Jim.